Boring. Boring.
Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 2, the Enhanced Edition, The Shadows of Arm. When last we left off, we broke in peace between Madolf's troop of ogres and Imsvale, only for Minister Lloyd to then turn around and say, "Well, thanks for offering to help us, but you really should check out those ogres, because they're definitely up to something sneaky." No, Lloyd, they're not up to anything sneaky, but because of the way that quest dialogue was written, and that it can't take into account the fact that you may have brokered peace first, you're going to say that regardless of what we've done. With that curious quirk out of the way, and more curious quirks in this quest to find in a little bit, we're going to explore around the Umar Hills and see if there's any goodies hidden anywhere off the beaten path. There isn't anything over here, and there's not likely to be anything over here. But there is a quest that we do want to get done. We need to get the blood of a mimic. Now, there is a place where you can get that here, and it's a place that you'll go to and encounter something quite interesting if you decide to give the swords and the ale to this group of young wannabe adventurers. By the way, if you're a ranger and you want to have a stronghold, don't do this, because the stronghold that you will be getting is the ranger cabin that we'll be off to in a moment. If you decide to give them the swords and the ale, the people of Umar are going to find out, and they're not going to be happy about it. But we're not a ranger, and we still didn't do that anyway. So let's go into this cave. I'm sure there's nothing bad in this cave at all. There's something bad in this cave. The hints as to there being something amiss come from the bodies here, and this very conspicuous treasure chest. You can loot it, so let's go over to it and see what's within. The answer is, this thing is actually an enemy. It is a killer mimic, explaining how all of these people nearby died. Now, a few people have been held, but that's not going to be a problem, because there are still enough people that haven't been held that we can take care of the mimic. The mimic doesn't have much health, and when we defeated the mimic, this becomes a treasure chest once again to be looted. In here is some mimic's blood, and a diamond, and a little bit of magical ammunition. Can you identify this? You can identify that and that, which is marvellous. We're going to put the diamond here, and have a look at this here. The blood of a mimic which you have killed. Mimic's blood is often used in the creation of golems. And that's what we want to have done with that ultimately. Now this here, I believe, is the thing that is holding Dawn and Edwin in place. I don't think it actually works in holding Hexat. Is there anything else in here? The answer is no. You can see how that would be a very sneaky trap, though, how it would lure people to their deaths. I don't think there's anything else that we can do in this area, so what we need to do is we need to pop back over to this cabin and reread a scroll that we've already read. And be very careful of this bear that just killed a groundhog. Let's stay away from it. Excellent, the bear didn't notice us. Even though we're pretty high level, we still do not want to mess with bears. Nobody ever wants to mess with bears. I'm still getting flashbacks from that time in Baldur's Gate 1 where those druids summoned bears on me. It was a very brief encounter. Now let's go over here and re-grab this scroll. And then we need to reread the scroll. If you remember, the scroll indicated that Mazzy was going to a certain location. It indicates the path to a forested area several hours north of the Imsvale region. We're going to copy that note, and then we're going to leave. This should be what we need to do.
Nothing to it.
So if we go this way now, and head to the bottom part of the map, if we have a look here, there's still nothing that we can do.
Very well.
Okay. We still haven't actually triggered being able to head to the location we have to go to. what haven't we
Whatever
done?
you want.
Well, what we haven't done is we haven't reread this
If you say
book.
so.
So let's reread this book, and once we've picked up the
Of course.
book, then something is triggered. And we can have a look at this, and we can have another look at this, and copy that there. And then we're going to have another look at this corpse. We've seen the corpse
Yes,
already,
whatever you
but
say.
now that we've done the things that we need to do, or at least that I hope we need to do, to trigger progress, we can now head over here, and we should be able to go to the temple ruins. That is a very, very curious set of events you need to do in a certain order to get to here. We knew about here, we'd read the scroll, but because we hadn't got to the point in the quest yet where we were meant to read the scroll, we couldn't go here. But now we can go here. Please, death, too many. That shadow thief is very dead. And that shadow thief has a journal. This journal was found on the body of the shadow-slain warrior that you stumbled upon near the entrance to the dark woods. The last entry is of particular interest. Nothing as I'd imagined that it would be. I expected to become a hero when I joined Mazzy Fenton's party. I expected that we would slay monsters with ease and bask in the glory of victory as they do in the old tales. But it is not as it seems. I did not expect the drudgery of the march, the casual horror of slaughter, the smell of death everywhere. I swear I can taste it. We've killed so many shadows and black wolves that my brain has become as numb as my arm. I'm covered in ichor, but have not the energy to even clean myself. If not for Mazzy, I think I would be mad. She is a constant source of strength and always reminds us of the innocents that these beasts have killed, of the horror that we must take upon ourselves to save the people who have no defence. Mazzy is the hero here, not I. The battle has only just begun. Today we arrived at the entrance to the ruined temple. It was crawling with shadows. Were it not for Mazzy's quick thinking, we would surely be dead. They were far too many to fight, but Mazzy used the stained glass of the ruins to reflect the light we had, illuminating the entrance and sending the shades to their doom. While the stained glass caught the light, we were able to find a pocket of safety. Any shadows that came within were destroyed by the light. Tomorrow we will attempt to enter the temple in the darkness. I have never felt such dread. I try to be as brave as Mazzy, but cannot. I feel the horrible, inescapable urge to run, and when the battle is joined, I can only hope that I will not. You ran, and it didn't end well for you. I'm sorry. You did have some pretty neat equipment. A composite longbow, a longsword, some arrows, some leather armour. Not much else, though. And I'm curious, it is currently 6. If we take off the cloak,
What would you have
what
me do?
happens?
Hmm.
Nothing happens.
I'm waiting.
It's very dark here. Unnaturally so. Also, here are some shadows. There are going to be lots of shadows here, and we're going to have to deal with all of them. And you just had some dialogue just saying that you will not steal my vengeance, and then she ran away. I wasn't anticipating that dialogue. But she ran into that cave. So let's go into that cave and see just what that was all about. We've seen this cave before. This is the same type of cave that we found in the tavern in the Docks district.
Best you make peace with your demons before I send you to meet them.
Man things, curse you, and curse the world. Can a wolf not enjoy her last meal in peace? We've come to put an end to the evil of you and your wolves. You've preyed on your last innocent. My wolves? Ha! No longer fool. The pack has fallen under the magic of the Shade Lord. Your hunting has gone awry. You suggest that this Shade Lord is responsible, yet you gnaw on the carcass of a human? Why would I believe such idiocy? I don't care what you believe. I speak the truth. This place was not always like this, floating in a false and unholy darkness. It began only a short time ago. The ruins to the east of the den have long been a place of foreboding to my pack and me. We had no desire to tread the ground of the fallen temple. If anybody hasn't figured it out by now, Anath is a werewolf. we got the hint that werewolves might be involved from Modolf. The temple was once dedicated to Amunata, a god of the sun, and a great prophetess is buried within. It was holy ground once, though now it is fouled. It is obvious that Amunata's power has waned, for if this were still his consecrated ground, my doom would never have arisen from the bowels of the temple. Go on. Some weeks ago, muted rumblings were heard beneath the temple. We paid little heed to them until the skies darkened and the shadows deepened. It was high noon when it happened, and the pack gathered so that I might calm them. I thought it'd be an eclipse. It was not. The Shade Lord had come among us then. He dominated my wolves, my children with a glance. I changed form and leapt into his darkness, but he merely laughed. Aneth, he said, bend to my will. You shall be the means of my revenge. He walked among the terrified wolves and killed them all with a touch. Once they were all dead, his darkness reached out to the corpses of my children and animated them as shade wolves. Numb with terror and sorrow, I ran. I've hidden these last few weeks from the shades that once were wolves, and from the darkness that creeps out from the temple that once imprisoned the Shade Lord. I will hide no more. This man I killed only to gather strength to face the Shade Lord. He wants only to kill, and those he kills, be they man-thing or wolf, arise as shades in his army. Will you allow me this revenge, or do I have to fight you as well? Do we want an ally in the form of a werewolf? Sure. If you wish to attempt to kill the Shade Lord, I will not stop you. I go to face him now. If you value the pitiful man-things of Imsvale, you will follow me to the temple and kill him if I fail. Good hunting.
Oh yeah!
Lillicor is happy at the prospect of
Whatever
facing
you
the
want.
Shade Lord. Also, any loot here? There is loot! Remember when I said that things could be hidden away? What about that right there? Admittedly, it was only 38 gold,
if
but it
Yes.
could have been something awesome. It wasn't something awesome. We want a stone skin.
Of course.
We don't know what kind of threats we'll be facing here. This loot also not very impressive. A scroll of magic missile, I mean, it's not terrible. It's also not wonderful. And some very minor jewellery. Let us leave.
Wait, if that's what you
Back
want.
into the darkness, where we will inevitably find more shadows. We're going to save, because this area can be quite dangerous, especially if you're low level. Remember that you can come here pretty much instantly. You can get this quest in Athkatla as soon as you get into Chapter 2, and then go straight to Umar. There is a Shade Wolf. We can deal with a single Shade Wolf. It's not going to be that tricky. We are quite high level for these monsters. Not all of the monsters, though, are going to fall as easily as that single Shade Wolf. Some of them are going to fall with a lot more difficulty. We also want to explore this whole area, because there could still be goodies hidden amongst these trees, these ancient, creaking trees. This place is just unnatural and unwelcoming. And there are weird sounds that sometimes make this place even more unsettling than it already is. Oh look! More shadows! And Vaconia is at the front of the team.
What is it?
There's always these little quirks about
You are
how people move around, but Vaconia has a sizable amount of armour class. It's quite likely that she's not going to get hit. I still, however, want to keep her back. She might as well have had one hit there. And this one is focusing Vaconia, so we will deal with that one first. Then this one, then that one. And now they're gone. Note that they only gave us about 420 experience each, whereas the Shade Wolf, that was 5,000. Just shy of 1,000 experience per person. And that does add up. Admittedly, we do need about 190,000. Hello, shadows, how are you?
You wouldn't.
You're going to perish. Hopefully. I don't want any of you to actually hit, but you can sometimes land critical hits, which means that you will hit me. But not this time.
Would you?
Hit it again!
We can't hit it again, Lillicor. It's dead. Such is the nature of things dying. Now we want to head up to the top right part of this map, but we're going to explore everything. It can't hurt to do so. We'll find more enemies to defeat, and this means that if we have to run away, it's very likely that we'll be able to do so safely. And now that's gone. And that was only 500 experience, not 5,000. I thought it was 5,000. That's me likely misreading. Is there something over here? There is another one of the Shade Wolves. We'll deal with you. Shouldn't be that tricky. Nope, not that tricky. Maybe it was 500 instead of 5,000. With how quickly the text moves, it can be difficult to see it. Let's have you all. Oh, and you're shooting there with your bow. Might as well. It's actually quite effective. We don't want you to fall behind. Definitely not. Also, I think this area here is quite important, but we can't get to it from here. We have to go all the way through a dungeon to get to there. If that is the place I'm thinking of. It may not be the place I'm thinking of. No, I think it's definitely the place I'm thinking of. Let's just go all the way around. Yes, that is the place I'm thinking of. Now, this is the way to the temple. We don't want to go there right now. We just want to keep looking around this woodland. I know, exploring the woodland, so very disagreeable, Dawn. But we might as well clear out all of the threats. There'll be a few more Shade Wolves, I imagine, and more shadows. And creaking noises. So many creaking noises. Ah, there is another Shade Wolf. Soon to be a dead wolf. One more hit. There we go. There's a little bit over here that I haven't explored. And very sinister music. Oh, this place. If you went here first, you'd definitely think this game has a very sinister vibe to it. Especially after the first area. We'll just take out these foes, and you got hit. Now, what did that do? That drained an ability score. We can deal with that, though.
Great outdoors,
there we go.
And dirty. It needs a shaping wheel, classic feet, in proper order.
That actually did not do what I wanted it to. That did not do what I wanted it to at all. Let's rest. Ah, there we go. Resting deals with the problem. Your strength is back. Marvellous.
Come on, kill something
We
now.
might need a better restoration spell to recover drained strength. But knowing that resting will do the trick is reassuring. Now, the only place we can go is over here to that temple, where the werewolf told us to go. Ah, there's a shadow here. Let's actually move the party back here and deal with you here, because there are actually quite a lot of shadows here.
You can't be serious.
Oh, they were serious. They were very much serious, Littlecore. And here are 3 more. We'll deal with these 3. Just have to make sure that they... Well, 3 suddenly became a lot more than 3, didn't it?
Yes.
3 became about 7. And we know what happens when we get that many of them. Bad things happen. Let's see about using that. That made it a lot easier. A chain lightning. Oh my. Now you move over there. I want you to chain lightning these ones as well. There we go. That just dealt with one of them completely. Marvellous. You lost some strength though. That's to be expected. Let's go over here and find even more of these shadows. To be fair, we are heading to their source, or so the werewolf told us, so it makes sense that there are a lot of them. Did you lose even more strength there? You're at strength 16 now. Ah, we might want to use this.
I will enjoy this.
Terry, it's a trap. Use the mirror to the left of the crystal here to gather what light is left and avenge my pack. And now,
Yes,
the
I
werewolf
will
is
take
dead.
care.
We want to use this mirror here, and
Yes.
that will help us out. If we go over here, we are going to get surrounded, it would seem, and in some serious bother.
What should I fetch
What's
now?
meant to happen is that light is meant to protect us. It is not doing that. It is not doing that at all.
Be bloody ready.
So let's see about taking care of everything
Yeah.
here.
I see.
We should be able to deal with these quite easily enough. Also, we can just go in whenever we like.
Victory
We
shall
need you
be
to start
ours.
fighting here.
You know this.
And we also need
What
you
is
to deal with these. Now, we don't have the ability to fire more chain lightning off. We do have magic missiles, though. Magic missiles will certainly help. We need to prevent you from perishing, though. You might very well perish.
I
You
am.
might very well perish. We need to get a magic missile here on you. And please don't perish. You're actually going to perish, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes,
I
you
have
are.
nothing else to do
Hopefully
but bother
this
me.
won't mean that you die permanently. This could be very much one of those situations where that happens. No, you're just dead.
What was
That's
that?
fine.
Bark here and see
Oh,
what
now you're getting killed by them. That's a little late, game. Game, that was very late. If that had happened right away, we'd have been much better off. Maybe if we'd have moved over here,
What would you have
we
me
wouldn't have
do?
had
It
that
will
problem.
be
Of all the party members, you're the one that's dying the most often, Dawn. It's kind of worrying that you are dying the most often. But it's not that difficult to re-equip you. We really do need to find you a suitable necklace with a magical enchantment on it. Now, we'll put that there, this here, and that there. And you're just carrying that. You have, we don't actually want you to use that at all. We want you to use Rancor and this and the Sword of Chaos. Much better. And we don't want you to have this shield. That shield, not really going to help us. Not really going to help us at all. You have a lot of crossbow bolts, though. Oh, you have a lot of crossbow bolts.
Mind
There we
your
go.
tone.
Now that you're re-equipped, we're going to have you heal him, and then we can rest in the safety, or relative safety, of this crystal. With the polished glass reflecting the light from the gem back upon itself, the illumination is significantly brighter, which is nice. Let's rest. Gold has been placed in your keep. I did not know that the game notified you of
What
that.
should I fetch
We
now?
might want to hop over and get that at some point. But that will be for next time. For when we come back, folks, we will be entering into the ruined temple of Amanata. And hopefully we can do something about this Shade Lord and avenge that werewolf. We're primarily doing this for the gold, though. The gold we're going to get from saving Imsvale. And there may be loot in there that we can get. And we like that. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.
What are getting bloody